Yo, what's up, family? The Build the City, the podcast is officially live now. In episode 1, you're going to actually hear my journey. Before we begin to bring on all of the guests, I literally thought, man, they got to hear the reason why we have Build the City, the podcast. And I have my good friend, Julian Ganz. He's been my friend for almost 20 years, a little over 20 years now. And he is actually sitting down, interviewing me, asking me questions. If anybody have seen my journey up close and personal, it has been him. And I'm here to tell you there was no question off limits. There was some highs in ministry and there was some lows in ministry, and he asked me about it all and we talk about it. I go in depth about everything. Nothing gets spared, but out of that the Lord birthed Build the City, and we're going to talk more about that in this episode. You got to go listen to it right now. Buckle your seatbelts because I'll keep it a buck. I love you. I see you in the city. I'm out. Yo, what's up, family? Thank you so much for tuning in to Build the City, the podcast with Corbin Hogue. I am Corbin Hogue, and today, normally on this podcast, what will end up happening is we will literally have a series of guests who I will have the honor and privilege to be interviewing. But today, to kick off the podcast, to let you know what the podcast is about, I'm actually going to be interviewed today.
Yes.
And the person who I chose to interview me has been my best friend for almost 20 years. That's seen me from the very beginning of my journey to this very present moment now. And so I want to welcome to the city, Julian Ganz. What's up, bro? What's up, brother? Hey, chilling, dude. This is like a complete honor to have you on the podcast.
Bro, it's an honor to be here, man. I'm excited, first of all, just for this new start, because I done seen the journey, bro. I done seen the work that you've been putting in, like behind the scenes that a lot of people don't get to see just being so close to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
Man. So let's go ahead and kick it off,
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So since we interviewing you, which is a little different, you know what I mean?
Right.
Usually you're the one doing the interviewing, you're the one, you know what I'm saying, having guests that'll be coming on.
Yeah.
I really want the people,
Yeah.
the viewers, to understand like what this is going to be.
Yeah.
Where you came from, where you plan on going. And a lot of people see you through social media. They may see you through or know you through someone else.
Yeah.
So they don't know you like really personally. They may see, Corbin the pastor, or Corbin from back in the day where he used to dance, or the journey that he's been through. But one of the biggest things that I want to ask too, and we'll get to it. I want to lead into it. But I want to ask, who is Corbin Hogue?
Wow.
That's going to be one of the things that I want you to kind of clarify for people so that they can see like where you're going and where you've been. Because, hey, it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
Thanks. If anybody know, you know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's start off with this. Why Build the City? Why that name?
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Yeah.
So that people can get a breakdown of that.
So Build the City, bro, if I'm being honest, like I think as I begin to look at like what my life have been, I'm a city baby. And what I mean by that, I come from what many people would call the trenches or like the inner city. And so that's like kind of been my world. But the more I begin to think about the city, it's actually found in Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. Where Jesus said, like, literally, you are a city on the hill that cannot be hidden. And so basically before that, he started to talk about that we are the light of the world. You know what I'm saying? A city that cannot be hidden. And so I begin to think of my life. I'm a city baby, and from the very beginning of me being like where I was, people have always said that I was a light.
Right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it was me, like, whether it's me acting crazy or that's me, like, turning up or having a good time, I've always been some version of light.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? In every space that I walked in, even the darkest times or the brightest times in my life, that joy has always been who I am. And so when I talk about Build the City, man, I want to continue to help build people, whether they are in the inner city or they are just any part of life, and they're in need of light. And I want to give that. You know what I'm saying? I want to give that with the guests. I want to give that to people who are listening to this podcast, the guests who sit on the couch and have a conversation with me. So Build the City is all about building light. Because, dude, the world is dark, right?
Come on, man. I was just about to say that, man. I was just about to ask. Like, especially in today's time, like with culture, with community, with so many different things that's going on in the world, it's really tough to have light in such dark places. Really, I would say since the pandemic.
Right, bro.
Like, people went into like this cave in this place.
Right.
And I don't think they fully came out. You know what I mean? I think they were so conditioned to being in this shell of man, it's just me, because everybody was in the house, you know,
Right.
things like that. People are not used to seeing that. So I think that's great, bro.
Yeah, bro. For me, like when you say people kind of like since the pandemic, and also part of this podcast, I believe in building bridges.
Right.
Part of my life have been that is me and my wife literally going into areas that don't quite look like us, as far as culture, as far as race, and what we have been able to do is bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why that is like another part of Build the City, that people need bridges, man.
Yes.
Like nobody ain't trying to fight in the middle. And I'm like, Jesus said we light, so light need to be somewhere in the middle trying to fight for both parties. And so, like, that's what, like, all of this is going to be centered around.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not picking no side. The only side we're picking is Jesus' side.
Talk.
And so we're going to interview people from culture, from church, from business, like, everything, bro. You come and sit on the couch to get this joy. You need some joy.
Hey, we might see him on the street, man. You trying to come on?
Man, yeah, bro. You got to be in the city, man.
Nah, for sure. I'm glad that you clarified that, man. First of all, how long did it take you to come up with this name, brother?
No, bro.
No,
I'm about to say, dude,
that's you know.
Yeah, dude, it's been for. I'd rather had it for a minute.
I know.
Yeah, I had it for a minute. I thought it was gonna be at one point. If I'm being honest, at one point, all right, I'm about to be real.
Hold on, before we go any farther, it's me and you.
Facts.
We ain't in front of the family. It's me and you, bro.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Talking to broski, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, keep it real with it.
Yeah.
Because I want them to see that side of you, because so many people see you in such corporate settings.
Yeah.
Big audiences, though, they see you preaching on major stages.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's really talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's really talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And knowing you personally, people that do know you personally know how much of an intimate personality that you are.
Yeah.
You know, and how driven you are, you know, for not only God, your family, bro,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and the people who you care about. So, like, I think, like, being that real and authentic, that's what I want. You know,
Right.
that's what this podcast is gonna bring to the masses, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, bro, first off, the name came about in the middle of COVID. Was sensing the Lord was calling me and my wife to leave Atlanta. We was part of an amazing church there, and my influence shot through the roof. So we talk about these big stages. I'm preaching on possibly one of the biggest stages that I've ever preached on at the time.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
But I would literally like walk off that stage and feel empty. Like, God, what is this? And I was like literally having what everybody would call ministry success. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the preachers just in front of some big audiences.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like not to like throw like numbers and stuff out there, but it was large. But literally would walk off the stage and feel empty. Like, God, like I know like this cannot be it. You know what I'm saying? So like the COVID hit, and then too, like I'm not just gonna talk about like me, I'm walking off the stage and people like are cheering. And I'm going home silent, like feeling like something is dying on the inside of me. And my wife is like in one of the darkest seasons of her life. You know what I'm saying? So like people see the Instagram, they see the Facebook. But like we was in like a tough time. You know what I'm saying? Like
I got a question. I don't want to cut you off because I know it's getting good, but I want to go back one step before you get to this, because you said you was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You ain't from Atlanta,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't from the ATL.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
All the way Gaffney, South Carolina.
But for them that don't know,
Yeah.
you know, that's been because this is the thing, bro. Like the highlight reel is always there online, and people see that, and people see, oh, he's here. Oh, his family's there.
Right.
Oh, they there. They in Atlanta. They in Ohio. They in, you know what I'm saying, the Carolinas. You know what I'm saying? They, you know what I mean? They in, can we go there?
Yeah, we got to go.
They in California. They in LA.
Yeah.
You know, it's many places that you got to be in. But starting off, you know, because you said the ministry success had happened at that time when you were, before this podcast idea came about, you know, before you had got to that level, as far as speaking and just moving, what did that look like going into that? Because you moved from the Carolinas, correct?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then went into, and God opened up a door for you and your family to speak to basically another, I would say, bridge and gap between two different places.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So talk about that and then going into
Stay no more, bro.
You know
See, look, that's why I wanted him, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's talk about it.
He know the journey. He know the journey. Don't nobody know the journey. So it did start in Atlanta. It actually started in first. I'm gonna go all the way back. Started in Gaffney, South Carolina, where I'm born and raised. You know what I'm saying? The
G-Town. Shout out G-Town.
And it started well long before then. Like, it was one of them things where people know my story. Like, many of y'all know that I was a professional dancer, right? Went on 106 in Park. Julian was actually a part of that. Like, we got to see some cool stuff with our life, right? So long story short, the Lord ended up like changing my life. And that what led me to Greenville, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So I was a youth pastor in Greenville for almost 5 years. And just went through like a tough season there. And like, if I'm being honest, like, it was one of the ones that we was not expecting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We thought we would be in Greenville forever.
Right.
And long story short, just the Lord just called us out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to like go into that story to save so many people a part of it, because I love and respect every person that was a part of the church we was a part of. So like, I'm not gonna go into that, but like, the Lord ended up calling us out. But while we was there, me and my wife was a part of a predominantly white church at the time, a youth group. Shout out to Envision students, will forever be a part of me. And so we was there bridging gaps, you know what I'm saying? Like, racially, like, we was there doing the work, and I'm not gonna lie, we was successful with it.
Was that different coming from like where, I ain't gonna say you come from, but we talking where we come from,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Being, coming from the G to the other G, you know what I mean? What did that look like? How was that transitional wise? Because one, you coming from a different industry, an entertainment industry that's completely different from church world.
Right.
To be honest.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now coming into something, ministering to not only students, but adults as well in that atmosphere, was that difficult being in a predominantly white space at a time?
About to make me.
That's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right now, it's still a lot of racial tension in the world and things that's going on. And while we call it a bill, like, you know what I mean, that can sometimes be difficult. So what did that feel like being in that atmosphere?
Yeah, you going there? So, bro, I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the toughest transitions in my life.
Talk to me now. Talk to me.
Because I remember the first Sunday that I was getting ready to be announced. Like, this is the Sunday I'm getting ready to be announced that I'm the student pastor at the church as the student pastor.
Oh man.
The person who was on the greeting team literally walks up to me and my wife and says, "So what brings you here?"
Oh, whoa.
And my wife ready, KK ready to like, KK ready to, wait, what?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. They literally approached me and said that. And I literally like put my hand on my wife and I was like, nah, we good. And she was like, why you didn't say nothing at that moment? And I was like, I'm ready to see the look on their face when they announce that I'm the student pastor of the church. Yeah. And sure enough, when they announced that I was a student pastor, this person's face like dropped, mouth dropped, because the way they approached us. Right, but there was so many of that, so much of that, even to the point, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I had a little bit of identity crisis, bro. Like, I was like, bro, who should I be? Could I be Will Smith, or do I need to be Carlton Banks?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you think you were really being yourself?
No,
like
No, I was not, bro. I was not, boy. For the first couple of years, bro.
I think that, bro, that's a testament to like a lot of not even just being in that space, bro. People in general, like even at your workspace, anywhere.
I was gonna say code switching is, bro. You code switch in the professional world, and some not even some. Many African Americans have to code switch inside of church too. Ooh. So they're not actually being who they are. They're being who they think these people will accept.
Why is that, bro? Why do we go to that? Because, bro, like, we're gonna talk about it because I mean, when we end up, like, right now, come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
Pandemic, people that not really going into churches as much. You know what I'm saying? They at the crib, bedside Baptist.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Watching church. You know what I'm saying? I'm still getting it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be in there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how people talk. You know what I mean? So when I get in there, if I feel like I got to switch it up, I got to make sure everything nice and tidy and tight. When I get in these spaces, why do we feel that we have to change like that?
Dude.
Because for someone who is very unapologetically themselves, yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For that to be a place where you had to switch it up.
Right, you better make me go deep.
You feel me?
For me, I can only speak for me. And I think there's many people too.
Yeah.
So it's a wound that I already had, and the wound was, And I believe everybody have it somewhere in them that you just want people to accept you. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought to be accepted, bro. You sent me a picture of my birthday that had me gutting. It was a picture of me in some bootcut jeans and a button-up T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was not who I was, but I felt like I needed to be that to be accepted. And then, like, bro, that actually speaks to something that's way deeper, bro.
Yes,
because if we feel that way, we got to do this to be accepted in these crowds. We also feel like we got to do that with God. And God, like, I never said you had to pretend. So it just shows, like, how it shows how that churches are now, like, bigger barriers to God. So God has never said you have to pretend. Cool. But I'm coming to church and I feel like I got to pretend to even be accepted. And so now that makes me feel like I got to put on for God. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, like, for many years, bro, you seen this more than anybody. Yeah. The wrestling of who I really am. And I was never faking, but I was putting on, like, this appearance to appease these people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, I don't want to shine too bright.
Right.
Because, you know, I might overshine.
Facts.
But that's just what God has
called me to be. Facts. But to circle it back to Atlanta, but when I got to Atlanta, I was still a part of a predominantly black church, white church. Yeah. But by this time, I was tired of being who I wanted them, like, who I thought they wanted me to be. And I just was full on who I am.
Like, how was that? Because in that season, coming from, you know, something that had just happened, you know, God called you guys to another place, you and your family, you guys picked up, moved, boom. You know what I'm saying? We in Atlanta, we here, you know, new atmosphere, new place. Yeah. You know what I mean? New living situation. One, faith jump.
Facts, 100%.
First,
you know
what I'm saying? Right. Because, you know, for God to call you, let's talk about it. For God to call you somewhere, you can just be like, man, really, I mean, we in the city, we close to home, we comfortable. Right. I don't know nobody. We don't know nobody out here.
Right.
You know what I mean? What did that feel like transitioning there? And then when you got there, I want you to talk about what did that look like as far as being able to still deal with what you, being yourself.
Right.
But were you fully healed of everything that had happened while being in the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Still bridging it.
Yeah. So us moving there first, biggest faith jump.
Yeah.
Because where we from, Gaffney, bruh, it's a big jump to move from Gaffney to Spartanburg sometimes.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we
15 minutes up the road.
Fast, bro. Like, we moved from the G to the big G to the big G to the A. You know what I'm saying? Like, far away from family, so you get that, like, you feeling homesick. But naturally, a part of who I am, bro, I always love an adventure, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, bruh, you can put, bruh.
We gonna go.
Bro, let's go see what it's like. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of here. So, like, me picking up, moving, I would say it more affected my wife than it did me. You know what I'm saying? And not even like affecting my wife in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's just like she used to like being real close to her family. Yeah. Where my family know me. Like, I'm not I'm not afraid to go find another challenge. And I credit it to my pops. My pops have always taught me to, like, just be who you are when you go in every room like you good. Like, so that adventure was always in me.
That's good.
But, like, the still leading, even though I, like, have some wounds in that space, I'm not gonna lie, my circle is what, like, helped in that process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to the circle that I developed in Atlanta, like, help with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will forever be grateful for Kiki and Tracy McDaniel, bro. Because, like, literally when we moved to Atlanta, and Young Punk during that season, like, played a very vital part.
Bro, I remember that, bro. I really remember, like, we was coming up once a month.
Yeah, bro, like, y'all.
Coming once a month.
Man.
Every weekend.
Bro, every weekend, bro. And it was.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Bro, like, y'all played a huge part in us actually settling in. And Kiki and Tracy almost like, all right, we gonna be your new family here now.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? So like, your community plays a big piece. And then too, bro, like, but as we are still doing all of this, I'm still feeling this burden of a build the city. Like,
so during this time is when you're here, the elevation of what people would see as success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, growing ministry growing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The children's ministry growing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I actually was able to, be able to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And see how the students grew from this to this. I would go one weekend, it was this.
Yeah.
I come the next weekend, it's not double. I'm like, yo, what's going on in here? You know what I mean? I mean, those services were, man, amazing, first of all. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was doing this thing. And just to see that, though, from there, so now we're back where we were at, before we took that step back. In this level of success at the height, because, hey, talk about it where you transition from, like, not only speaking to the youth, but you started speaking on Sunday morning.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got a little bit of that while I was here in Greenville, and I watched how people move from, that's our youth pastor, we give them a shot, to people actually wanting to hear what I got to say.
Come on. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that actually, like, helped me, like, be like, wait. But then, before, like, but that was for, like, a white audience.
Mm-hmm.
But back home, I still, grown-ups, teenagers, everybody wanted to hear what I got to say.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like me talking to adults. It was, I'm not gonna lie, that showed me that I had the gift to talk to all races, all ages. That people would actually listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? On what God has deposited in me. And all of what Atlanta did was pour gas on the like on a flame that's already been lit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm telling you, man, preaching in front of a couple thousand people, like different. Bro, it's different. It's different. And
be real.
And it's watching people respond to that.
Yeah.
That where I come in with my Jordans on and I'm like, yo, what's up, everybody? Like, and they respond to that. And that was all ages, bro. Like, just literally locked into that. Mm-hmm. But what really like catapulted this Build the City thing was Build the City has always been about bridging gaps.
Gotcha.
And so, like, I'm watching this happen in Atlanta as well as in our youth group back in Greenville. Mm-hmm. So we started to, like, you and Punk was a part of that, Ken Terrell was a part of that.
Yep.
Us being those conduits to come in to bridge gaps. So it's not only just me and KK, but it's our team that we roll with too, who happen to be our community. Mm-hmm. That we are all products of bridging gaps. So it's like, oh man, like, we actually can do this.
Yeah.
And Atlanta, like, literally what showed that, because I had kids in our youth group who literally from the inner city, who would walk to youth group, and then I had kids who would drive into my youth group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And watching both those groups, like, connect with each other, and not just that, it turned into, now I'm on Sunday morning and I'm watching adults do that same thing. And I'm being honest, I believe that God graces certain communicators to be their voice. And when I seen that I was one of those voices, I'm quickly, and now I'm humbled by that.
Yeah.
And now that literally, like, man, I got to keep doing that. And as I was walking off the stage, kept feeling like God, like, all right, so what are you going to do what I told you to do? And when you going to do what I told you to do? You would not get out of this feeling until you do what I told you to do.
Wow.
And so Build the City first started, I was like, okay, doing COVID, set with COVID. You know what I'm saying? Just sit down like everybody else.
Yeah.
In the house. And so I was able to face my thoughts.
That's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, tough thing. Like, I couldn't run from that. I couldn't run no more.
Yeah. And
literally faced all of that. And initially we thought it was just going to be a nonprofit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I literally had a friend who they knew I was getting ready to make some type of jump because of COVID. And I shared with them, with two people. I shared the vision of Build the City with two people. And one of them wrote a check. They bought the name. They bought the name for me. They literally was the ones who funded the nonprofit.
Wow.
So it's still a LLC to this day. We haven't touched it or anything, but the Lord used somebody to, like, sow into that.
Wow.
And so literally it has been sitting on the shelf for a while, but it also turned into something else. Our church, One Community Church.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, Building the City is not just a podcast, but it's actually a movement. You know what I'm saying? That I'm being honest, that's my life message. I feel like that's what I'm put on this earth to do. I'm put on this earth to build the city. And Holy Spirit told me a long time ago, you go build the city through the church. And so, like, we have the church, One Community Church, but this is another branch of us building the city through podcasts.
I love that, man. Going into, like, this next phase.
Yeah.
One Community.
Yeah. Facts. We got a church. We got a church. Real, yeah. So,
what community coming into that? How did that, transpire and come about? I really want people to, I know we'll be here all day really going through each and every detail, but I want to give some highlights of what's been going on in you and your family's life.
Yeah.
Because it's vitally important for people to see that it's not a destination.
Right.
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey.
And
it still is.
Construction.
Yep.
And there's been a lot of things that's been going on throughout this time. Like, while life be lifing, it's lifing for everybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But in that process, like, guys can still work.
Bro, and I'm
still working.
And I'm a living testimony of that, bro.
Yeah.
I said it in COVID and literally knew where I was. The season has ended.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that's literally, and how it ended still blows my mind to this day.
Wow.
I'm at the height of success. Nobody is. I'm good, bro.
I mean,
bro, facts,
conferences,
bro.
Can we talk about it,
bro? It's easy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so easy. But nobody never talk about when God called you to give something up. People can always give up something when it's bad. But it's hard to give up something when it's good.
Great.
I'm talking about at its like purest form,
bro.
And we was at that level, and the Lord called me to give it up. That's always been a part of my story, bro. Man. It's always told me at the height of something, I need you to walk away from it. Looney Tunes, Corbin, I need you to walk away from it. Dang, I got to walk away from that?
Yes.
All right, I give it up. And then this, like, my life turned out like what it was. And then now we're at the height of this in Atlanta, and he tell me to walk away. And I'm like, okay, I give it up, but where am I going? And so I called my mentor, real good friend of mine, said, hey, feel like God like calling us to plant this church, this whole build the city thing. Mm-hmm. He was the first person who I gave the initial idea of a build the city to.
Yeah.
And we was forming it and we was talking about it. But I also told him, I said, but I also feel like I'm called to plant a church too. And he told me, hey, before you plant a church, I know the season of life you was in, come up here and sit for a year. Don't do nothing. And we're going to still build on the plan for the church. So, like, literally, you need to heal because this is a testimony for anybody. Before God next level you, he got to heal you, bro.
Come on, bro.
Like, he got to heal you, or you'll be bleeding on people who ain't did nothing to you. So I set for this year, not preaching or nothing, and still planning one community. And long story short, God has, like, blown our mind when it comes to our church. People like, Kobe, you don't post about it a lot because I'm, like, literally fighting to live in the moment of what's taking place right now. Mm-hmm. Like, we literally just signed to get our first building. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got our first building, and we are a year and, like, 4 months of our church. And we have outgrown our kids space. Now we have more kids space. And
I love it.
And all of that. So God is doing amazing things, but I don't feel the need to, like, hey, look at what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
Which in today's society, it's a lot.
Bro, like, I'm not into, like, boasting about it, like, look at me. I think you got enough of that. But, like, so we playing one community. God is, like, flourishing it. But still a part of me, I love podcasting and talking to people.
Come on.
Like, I'm still a speaker. I still get speaking engagements. I still go do that.
Yep.
And that will forever be a part of me. But this is another branch of that. You know what I'm saying? That I still got to, like, get that out of me because I'm an evangelist all day. Yeah. Like, I don't got to talk to people. Like, God has given me a voice, and I want to use that voice.
For those who don't know, like, what is an evangelist? And break that down, because there was a season in my life where I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what is that?
So for me, bro, just in layman's terms, an evangelist is a person who is obsessed with Jesus and just want to tell every person about him.
Gotcha.
That's literally like, I give you a whole biblical definition and all of that, but I'm like, I don't even talk that way in my real life.
That's what I think. That's why I think Build a City Pod is going to be able to talk to the masses.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be able to break down a language that people don't really understand. It's going to be able to talk to a person that everybody ain't talking to.
Right.
It's going to be able to, you know what I'm saying, reach people that, you know what I'm saying, may not be the most extroverted.
Yeah.
And maybe they're introverted. Maybe they're the opposite. Whatever the case is, they can throw this in, they can listen to it, they can watch this on their phone, and they actually be able to relate and get information to help their life, you know what I'm saying? And be their life.
Bro, and that's what we want to be. I don't want to be, bro, when I'm obsessed with Jesus, I'm just going to tell them, hey, look at my scars.
Yeah.
Like, I got scars, and he healed me. And look at my life, and guess what? You got scars. He can heal you, and he can transform your life. And this is all this is, bro. You know where I come from.
Yeah.
People who watching this, majority of them, bro, they know where I come from. And like, bro, I did not come from. My life has never been squeaky clean.
Bro, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot, like, that's why I wanted to break down this Build a City pod, but I also want to transition this conversation right now, and I want to go to Corbin Hogue.
Yeah.
You know?
Facts.
Let's talk Corbin Hogue.
Yeah.
You know, because while Corbin is in this situation and seeing this journey go through with your family and, you know, what you guys have been able to accomplish,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, grow to where now, you know, we have one community church. With this, what does the future of Corbin Hogue look like?
Yeah. I think the future for Corbin Hogue, first, like, when I think about this a lot, who am I? Like, and a person told me, I was watching something on Instagram, and I was reading this, and I seen both comment by the same person. And they literally said, it's not so much about finding your voice than it is about finding your place. So once you find your place, your voice can, like, actually echo, right? And so when you ask, like, who is Corbin Hogue, I started to immediately think about a place. Bro, I'm born and raised in Gaffney, South Carolina, bro. Unapologetic about that, man.
Yeah.
One of the greatest cities in the world.
For sure.
And I've seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? Seen a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of pain.
Yeah.
Nobody tell you, like, growing up in high school when you lose two people that are close to you, like, how to navigate that while you in high school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All they do, they just see the abruption. They never, like, check the root of, like, what the problem is. They quick to label you, but they never ask you, like, or ask, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? And I'm a product of that. I was just a class clown, loving people. You know what I'm saying? Just love people, love to have a good time. But I faced some real pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we just turned our pain into just a platform. If I'm being honest, like,
for sure.
we danced, you know what I'm saying, to, like,
dance the
pain away. We did, and it got very successful with it. Tell people all the time, many people come to God when their lives are falling apart. My life wasn't falling apart when I came to God.
Come on, man.
It was, like, my soul was, my spirit was, but on face value, bro, we just got off TV.
Yeah. We win.
Nothing. Yeah, we winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could have kept going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we wanted to, but I came
before our time.
Facts. Like, way before our time. Rest in peace, Nate and Jonathan Phillips, bro. Like, but those boys live in me.
Man.
They live in me. So the reason why I go hard for students and I will always fight for them, because I think about us when we was that age.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if they had what we had, like, I always think about that. So that's a part of Corbin Hogue, man. My family, my dad and my mom, just, man, not perfect parents, but did the best they had with what they, you know what I'm saying? They did the best they could with what they had, and I'm a product of that. But one of the main things that I will forever credit my family is my mom and dad kept Jesus in front of me.
For sure.
I promise you, bro. I am a result of prayers from Teresa and Bobby Hogue, bro.
Hey,
and,
Bobby, baby.
Right, bro. But then too, bro, I love my wife and kids, man.
Come on,
like,
man.
My wife and kids are
going to the family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. You know, your wife and kids are what? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about my nephew, man. You know?
Yeah. Man, me and KK, bro, been married 9 years at the time of this podcast. And I have 4 amazing sons. You know what I'm saying? Like, Austin, who literally, bro, like, I cried just talking about him.
Okay.
Like, he is, like, by far the most compassionate, like, 8-year-old at the time of this podcast that I've ever encountered.
Yeah.
Avery is like, he gonna make me some money in entertainment. I'm not even gonna lie to tell you, bro. Like, that's the spitting image of me. I call Austin my big man, and I call Avery twin, because he is, like, look like me and that just like me. Each one of my sons have something of me. Austin got that compassionate heart like me, but Avery just, like, goofy, silly, like, love to smile. And then Asher, my woo daddy, bro, Tasmanian devil. That's what we just pray for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, pray for him. But just got a heart of a protector, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he gonna protect his brothers. Like,
his
3 years old.
Call him.
Facts, bro. Older brothers calling, hey, Avery, they messing.
Avery, all he gonna be like, hey, Asher.
Bam Bam is what his grandmas call him, Bam Bam. And then we had a new addition, Alexander, man.
Boy.
Yeah, Alex, man, Daddy Red, man. Or Donnie. That's what I be calling him. I just randomly say that, Donnie. But my babies, man, like those, they are my world, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know, dude. I'm being honest. The future for Corbin Hogue is, I'm being honest, dude, pouring my life into my baby boys and like continue to use the gift that God has given me. I'm at a place in my life now where, I'm being honest, I want to die empty. So that's like every idea that I have, like I want to capitalize on that, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, you're not promised tomorrow. You don't know what it's gonna be, but like the thing that you can leave behind is a legacy. Yeah. And I want to like do that. I want to use the voice that He give me. So I want to promote that Jesus is still the right way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus still specialized in fixing broken people, because I am a product of that. But also, no matter how broke, you can still come to Him. And then too, like He also put you on this earth to create. So you gotta create.
Naturally create.
Yeah, you got to.
Do you feel like when you're not in that creative space, like being able to like now do, this Build a City podcast and having your hands in so many different things, from speaking, to the church, you know what I mean, to the podcast, it's some other stuff. I don't know if you're announcing that yet.
Yeah,
but, I know, because bro, you know what I'm saying. But I know that's coming on the way.
Yeah.
But there's some other things that's coming. Do you feel as though like when you're not able to create that, you feel like stagnant in some type?
I do, man. Like, bro, and that's one of the things that the church got to stop doing to people.
Yeah.
Is trying to limit them to one thing. Wow. Like they just try to limit you to, you're a pastor, so you just need to be in this lane. Mm-hmm. That's why I thank God for, like, I don't always agree with a lot of their theology and things of that sort, but what I do agree with, how they express themselves, like the Mike Tyson of the world, those guys are like very dynamic in their gifting. You cannot place them in the box. Yeah. And so they encourage me to one of my favorite communicators of all time, one of my big brothers, who I always listen to 24/7, Darius Daniels, say, like, you're not this or that, you're this and that. And so I believe like I'm this and that. Yeah. And so I want to encourage people that you just don't have to be this. You can be this and that. And so like when I'm not being this and that, I'm frustrated, bro. Yeah. Because I'm like, you trying to keep me in this box and I can't stand a box. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's literally what I want to help to inspire more. I just want to give people joy and light and laugh and culture and leadership and Jesus all in one. And that's why I got to have all of these guests on here that I'm talking to, bro.
For sure, bro.
Because I've been able to be in some cool rooms and get to know some really cool people, bro.
I know some of the rooms you've been in. I'll tell you, if the average person be up in them rooms, they going to be, hey, bro, let me get a pic real quick. Yeah. Then post it on the ground. Like, you just so humble in this space of where, like, you really know what your mission is. Fact. And you're clear on your vision for, what you're doing and where you're going. And that's why I wanted people to kind of like get a clear vision on that and what they look like. Being able to see like not only what you're doing, but who you are. Right. You know what I mean? Because people don't get to see Corbin Hogue. They get to see what Corbin Hogue do. Right. And I think a lot of times, people do that a lot. Like instead of actually, you can ask somebody, hey man, who are you? They'll tell you what they do, not who they are.
Nah, bro, you take this away today. I'm still gonna love Jesus, Cortisha, and Austin and Avery and Asher and Alex. Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna keep telling people about Jesus. I'm still gonna create. Yeah. You can take it away, but I'm gonna create something else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like who I am, and I genuinely love people, bro. Yeah. And that took me a while to like accept that. Yeah. Because of pain. Like pain kind of like will make you like, I don't like people no more. You know what I'm saying? Like we being real.
No new friends.
Yeah, none. But I'm like, nah.
And that's what
it's toxic, bro. It's just toxic. But for me, I'm like, everybody can come sit at this table. And so this podcast could be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like from, bro, the whitest of white, the blackest of black, the Asian of Asian, the Mexican of Mexican. Like we all, because when Jesus died, he did not just die for black people, white people. He died for all of us. Revelation 7:9. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. And so we all gonna be in heaven, you know what I'm saying? Like worshiping that God, so we might as well get to practicing that.
Might as well.
So we gonna be build the city. Heck yeah. Bro, I appreciate that. This time, man. This is this dope.
Yeah. Dope. I'm excited for where it's gonna go, man. Have me back on,
Bro, you are gonna be back on, bro. You gotta be. You gotta be.
Y'all gonna see me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Be in the background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be here. I think I might have had another question though for you before we head out, man. Just to close us on out of here. Or maybe I didn't.
No, you good, bro. I think we hit everything, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
We good.
I think we good, buddy.
Bro, appreciate you, man.
What's out, man?
Hey, this is...
That was out. First official episode.
Yeah. First official
episode.
Happened. I love y'all. This went longer than we wanted it to go. But hey, this dude set me up big time. But I love y'all, man. Listen, Build the City is gonna be a light, and we are all called to be light. So go light the city up. I'm out.